Hello, this is Shambhavi. Welcome to Satsang. Satsang is an ancient spiritual practice from India. It means being in reality together. I give Satsang live every Wednesday and Sunday night in Portland, Maine. This Dharma talk was recorded during one of our Wednesday night gatherings. Please visit jayakula.org to learn more about the teachings. You can find video satsangs on Jayakula's YouTube channel, and my books are all available on Amazon.com. Much love to you, wherever and however you are. I was reading some Chogyam Trungpa today, and I realized that realized that there are some things that teachers of our era have to talk about with people in this culture that they really didn't have to talk about if they were, teaching back in the original countries from which these traditions came. And certainly Trungpa was one of the people who came up with some of the most creative and culturally appropriate innovations to try to reach students in the United States. One of the things that I often have to talk about is something called insecurity. One imagines that back in the day, wherever, 8th century Kashmir, somebody might have said, "Oh, I'm nervous about something," or "I'm worried I can't do something, I'm not skilled enough to accomplish some task or another." But I don't think they sat around thinking about how insecure they were and thinking they had a psychological problem. So-and-so's nervous. It was very literal, matter of fact. There wasn't all this insular problematizing of this inner self. That psychologistic inner self didn't really exist as a narrative, and so people couldn't embody it. Lucky for them. When we think of insecurity, the number one stoker of the fire of insecurity is measuring yourself against others. Or maybe not even against specific others, but against some paradigm you hold, some concept you hold about what you should be, or how you should be, or who you want to be, or who you want others to think you are, and then finding yourself falling short or ricocheting back and forth between feeling that you're superior and feeling that you're really terrible. So that causes depression, that kind of ricocheting. The solution to insecurity does not lie in any of the things that people who experience insecurity seek in order to assuage their feeling of insecurity. The solution to insecurity doesn't lie in becoming the ideal person you wish you were so that you could feel secure because you knew you were really good at something. It doesn't go away if other people accept you. It doesn't go away if other people approve of you. It doesn't go away if other people applaud you. It doesn't go away if you manage to fool people into having a certain opinion of you. It doesn't go away if you manage to hide or manage or medicate your insecurity. It doesn't even go away if you accomplish things that you think are important. Because at the root of insecurity is this sort of like a trembly worm or slug in there, worrying about its existence. Am I okay? When you're worried about the question, am I okay, in this very fundamental way that doesn't really have anything to do with all the things you think it has to do with, you are isolated, you can't really feel compassion for other people, and your energy is very bound up in that. The only way to really have the capacity to give freely to others And I mean, give your heart, give your tenderness, give your kindness in an open way, as if you feel okay. You feel there's something just fundamentally okay about this, about me, about everything. And Chogyam Trungpa called this basic goodness. When despite everything, you can feel your basic goodness. Now, on the one hand, we could get down to the real ground floor of this basic goodness and just a feeling that being here is better than not being here. Right? Like it's good to exist. That there's some kind of appreciation of existence. Your existence, the existence of all of this. You appreciate things. So basic goodness is not where you list your values or you write up a little essay about everything you like about yourself. Because there's always going to be some things you don't like. It's never going to pan out to assuage all of that insecurity. But the appreciation of what exists, including you, is absolutely key. So you feel an appreciation for having life. No matter what else happens, I'm here. Isn't that great? And an appreciation just for the basic building blocks of life. Appreciation for your senses. You have all these beautiful senses. You can hear things, you can speak, you can feel. Right. Just, it's not a logical recognition of that, it's an appreciation for it. You've got a foundation, your existence and your senses, and you've got a world. One of the things that Trungpa talks about is a recognition that you have a home here, that this is your home. That you are not a stranger in a strange land. No matter how socially awkward you may be, no matter how insecure you may be, no matter how much you may be hiding your insecurity, whatever you're doing, it doesn't really matter. Everything that's here belongs here. It's like, this is the process of like sitting down and being a person in a room doing your sadhana. This is your world, it's your body, it's yours to experience. It doesn't matter what condition you're in, this is your home. Every single part of it, not just the walls of your house. You see, we're always looking somewhere for some kind of validation. People who are insecure often spend an inordinate amount of time looking for validation of some sort from somewhere. Right? That is never going to do it for you. Never. It's never going to do it for you to amass, achieve, get approval, have someone say they like you or love you or whatever it is that you think is going to make you feel better about yourself. Saying affirmations, I am gorgeous, I am smart, I am this, I am that. None of that is going to work if you don't have a basic appreciation for your existence. If you don't feel a sense of the incredible fact that this actually is your home and you have these senses in this body and you can walk around and experience color and smells and you can hold somebody's hand and you can listen to music. It doesn't matter what music it is or whose hand it is. It's that you are an aspect of this and you have existence here and this is for you. And there's goodness in that, just basic goodness, as Trungpa called it. So this is why Trungpa was so insistent about meditation practice, his approach to it, where he just said over and over again, your attitude when doing meditation should be, I am a person sitting on a cushion in a room. He didn't want to bore people to death. That wasn't his job, his intent. He wanted to get people back in touch with basic goodness. Just the fact that you're sitting on a cushion in a room, how extraordinary that is. And it gets back to something about the Trika tradition, where it was said perfectly by Laleshwari, the 14th century yogini. She said the state of the realized yogi is one of continuous amazement. At what? At everything. That everything is as it is. Now, we don't have to hold ourselves up to the measure of continuous amazement, but that appreciation is just such an important thing. It's a very profound thing, appreciating what is. And also appreciating your capacity to relate to it all. Right? That's huge. So from that appreciation comes just a feeling of tenderness and friendliness towards yourself and everything. It's all just kind of funny, all our little foibles. In light of that appreciation, everything becomes kind of poignant and funny and not actually tragic or horrible or a problem or an issue. If we are constantly trying to manage this feeling that we're not okay and we're not measuring up, life is passing us by. Period. You're wasting your life if you do that. So the best thing to do is to slow down and start taking the time to appreciate the simple fact of your existence, the extraordinary fact of all the capacities that you have to relate to everything, all your senses and your mind and your imagination, and just the simple qualities of our world and how they just continually arrange and rearrange in different fantastical ways. That's not a story, that's what's happening. So you have to slow down to be able to appreciate things, because anxiety or insecurity is very fast. It has a guna, it's fast, it's rough, it's very windy. And when you're wrapped up in that, you're like in a little inner tornado all the time. A little private storm. And you can't appreciate things. You're completely distracted. And seeking all the time, trying to manipulate everything around you into somehow getting out of this anxiety. But the answer isn't in anything that's happening that you could possibly be manipulating. The answer is just in the simple fact that you're here, this is your world, and you are having these experiences that are good in their essence. It's that simple. So everybody just try to feel that. You think you don't belong in some particular family or social group or community. You belong to the whole world. This is where you appeared. This is yours. This is your playground. You're worried about measuring up to something? You are what's happening here. You are this world. There's no measure. There's nothing you can get kicked out of or left out of. You are this. The world is made of you. This is your stage. There's nothing that kind of interrupts the flow of the teacher-student relationship or transmission more than someone trying to get something out of that situation that won't help them. Being approved of, being number one, being liked, being right, being better, being this, being that. It's like totally beside the point. It's like you're in one drama and I'm in a totally different one. The real trick is that we just are here together feeling that wonder at existence. That's the real trick. And then we just go on from there. That's the root transmission. Isn't it amazing? We're here. If we could just go on from there, it would be marvelous. That's what Ma meant when she said, play with me. She said, I'm here now, play with me. That's what she meant. Play with me on this stage. Isn't it funny that we're all here? Jayakula is a nonprofit community offering opportunities to learn and practice in the direct realization traditions of Trika Shaivism and Dzogchen. We are based in Portland, Maine and Portland, Oregon. Visit jayakula.org to explore more of our offerings.